In recent years, minimalism has captured widespread interest, with many embracing its principles to simplify their lives and rethink their relationship with material possessions. For some, minimalism offers a way to change spending habits, reduce clutter, and streamline daily routines. Popular platforms and creators have highlighted its benefits, making it a go-to solution for those seeking intentional living. However, there's growing discussion about the challenges of maintaining minimalism as a long-term lifestyle. Critics argue that the concept can be taken too far, while others claim that minimalism, as a trend, has lost its relevance. Despite this debate, one key lesson from minimalism remains undeniable: intentionality. Living with purpose and thinking carefully before making purchases are principles that can benefit anyone. While not everyone identifies as a minimalist, and strict adherence isn't necessary, many still find value in applying minimalist-inspired rules to their lives, even without fully committing to the lifestyle. These practices can help create a sense of balance, reduce stress, and increase focus on what truly matters. Today's feature explores 10 minimalist rules that can work for anyone, whether or not they identify as a minimalist. These rules focus on slowing down, making thoughtful decisions, and getting the most out of what you already have. As these strategies prove, you don't need to label yourself or make consumption habits your defining characteristic to enjoy the benefits of a more intentional and simplified life. Before we begin to disclose those secrets, I would like to request you to subscribe this channel now and click the notification bell icon. Rule 1. Buy nice or buy twice. A wise saying, often credited to grandparents, rings true. Buy nice or buy twice. This principle emphasizes the importance of purchasing the highest quality item you can afford. Settling for the cheapest option might save money up front, but in the long run, it often costs more as you replace lower quality items that fail to last. Adopting this mindset encourages thoughtful purchasing decisions, ensuring you fill your space with items that will endure and bring lasting value. Moreover, this approach inherently slows down the buying process. Choosing a quality item often requires research, brand comparisons, and sometimes even testing products firsthand to determine their suitability. The goal isn't necessarily to buy the most expensive option but to focus on the best value within your budget. This not only ensures longevity but also reduces waste and promotes intentional spending habits. By buying nice, you avoid buying twice, and you maximize the utility of everything you own. Rule 2. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. This rule, inspired by author and entrepreneur Derek Sivers, is simple yet powerful. If something isn't an enthusiastic yes, it's a definitive no. This mindset applies to many areas of life, from physical possessions to commitments and relationships. Allowing things that feel lukewarm into your life can lead to clutter, both physical and emotional. It can also foster resentment and burnout when you find yourself saying yes to things you're not passionate about. By practicing this rule, you prioritize your time, energy, and space for things that truly excite or fulfill you. It's about listening to your gut and trusting your instincts. If something doesn't immediately feel like a hell yes, it's often better left out of your life. Rule 3. Declutter before you organize. A well-organized space is satisfying to see and live in. But before you dive into organizing, it's essential to declutter first. Many people fall into the trap of buying more organizational tools to manage their belongings when, in reality, the issue often lies with having too much stuff. If a space feels overwhelming or disorganized, the root cause is frequently excess clutter. Start by removing items that no longer serve a purpose or bring value. Then move on to organizing what remains. Decluttering allows for a more efficient and cost-effective organization process, often requiring little to no additional spending. Without this crucial first step, organizing can become an exercise in simply rearranging unnecessary items, which adds to the chaos rather than solving the problem. Rule 4. If you don't use it, lose it. This rule ties closely to the process of decluttering and maintaining a simplified space. Regularly evaluate your belongings to determine whether they still provide joy, utility, or value. If an item doesn't meet one of these criteria, it's likely just taking up space and should be removed. Living in a smaller space often reinforces this principle, as everything brought into the home must serve a clear purpose. Maintenance is key to sustaining a decluttered and organized environment. This includes routinely assessing areas like your wardrobe, medicine cabinet, and makeup collection to remove expired or unused items. Decluttering isn't a one-time task, it's an ongoing process that evolves as your tastes, needs, and priorities change over time. By adopting a habit of regular evaluation, you can ensure your space remains functional, intentional, and free of unnecessary clutter. Rule 5. Wish list and wait. A powerful strategy to curb impulse buying and cultivate intentional spending is the practice of keeping a wish list. Whenever you come across something you want, instead of purchasing it immediately, add it to a designated wish list. This simple step creates a separation between the initial desire and the act of buying, giving you time to reflect and evaluate whether the item is truly worth bringing into your life. Over time, this habit minimizes impulsive purchases and encourages delayed gratification. By keeping a wish list, whether in a notes app or a journal, you can even take the process further by jotting down details such as the price of the item or why you want it. This reflection allows you to understand your motivations, which are often rooted in fleeting emotions or external triggers, such as social media or sales promotions. When shopping later, sticking to your wish list helps focus your purchases, reduces distractions, and ensures you buy only what aligns with your priorities. Rule 6. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Staying organized is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to maintain a clean, clutter-free environment. Minimalism isn't just about reducing what you bring into your space, it's also about ensuring that everything you own has a designated place. A cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind, making it difficult to focus or feel at peace. By creating a habit of putting things back where they belong, you can minimize mess and reduce the work required for larger cleanups. This rule applies across all areas of your home, from your wardrobe and workspace to your purse or backpack. For example, always placing your wallet in the same spot prevents the frustration of searching through a cluttered bag. Similarly, organizing your closet by garment type or color makes getting dressed faster and more enjoyable. When every item has a home, your space becomes more functional, and you always know where to find what you need. Rule 7. Don't buy a problem. When making a purchase, it's important to ensure the item solves a problem rather than creating new ones. For example, buying a new rug to refresh your living room might seem like a simple upgrade. But if it clashes with your existing furniture and prompts you to buy more items to match, the purchase has snowballed into a series of additional expenses and complications. This rule also applies to clothing. Picking up a unique piece that doesn't fit properly or doesn't coordinate with the rest of your wardrobe can lead to more spending on alterations or accessories. It's essential to recognize when a purchase might trigger a cascade of issues. Similarly, buying items you can't afford, especially on credit, creates financial burdens that come with interest. If a purchase requires extensive justification or feels like a stretch, it's often better to walk away. This rule encourages careful consideration and ensures that your spending aligns with your needs and means. Rule 8. Have a why before you buy. Understanding why you want to purchase something is a cornerstone of intentional living. Before making any purchase, Take a moment to reflect on your motivations. If you can't identify a good reason for buying the item, it's likely not worth the money. This practice helps you differentiate between wants and needs, prevents impulse buying, and curbs clutter in the long run. Reflecting on your why also allows you to confront shopping triggers, such as buying something simply because it's on sale or because of its brand name. By being honest with yourself about the real reasons behind your desire for an item, you can avoid purchases that don't add genuine value to your life. Taking the time to examine your motivations not only saves money but also helps create a more intentional, clutter-free lifestyle. Rule 9. The Spark Joy Rule. Popularized by Marie Kondo. The Spark Joy Rule is a simple yet effective guideline for managing possessions. The principle is straightforward. If an item doesn't spark joy, it's time to let it go. Similarly, when shopping for something new, if the item doesn't immediately spark joy, it's likely not worth buying. This rule is a gentle counterbalance to the highly utilitarian approach often associated with minimalism, which focuses primarily on keeping only what you need or use. While practicality is essential, it's equally important to allow room for items that bring happiness, even if their value is purely emotional. The key, however, is honesty. Joy should be genuine, an immediate and enthusiastic yes, rather than a hesitant maybe. By applying this rule thoughtfully, it's easier to determine what deserves a place in your home and what doesn't, ensuring your space remains both functional and meaningful. Rule 10. If you can't pay for it in full today, you can't afford it. In a society driven by instant gratification, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on credit cards or buy now pay later apps to fund purchases. This rule serves as a powerful reminder to slow down and live within your means. The premise is simple. If you can't pay for something in full today, then it's not within your budget. This approach not only prevents debt accumulation but also encourages delayed gratification, fostering a habit of intentional spending. For many, the act of saving for a purchase transforms the buying experience into something more thoughtful and deliberate. Impulse buying, often fueled by the convenience of online shopping, can quickly drain bank accounts and clutter living spaces. Countless times, people convince themselves they need something, only to forget why they wanted it by the time it arrives. This cycle highlights the importance of pausing and reflecting before making purchases. By committing to pay in full or saving up for larger expenses, you're forced to assess whether an item truly adds value to your life. This financial discipline not only safeguards your finances but also makes every purchase more meaningful. These 10 minimalist-inspired rules offer practical ways to live more intentionally, regardless of whether you identify as a minimalist. They promote habits that streamline life, reduce stress, and encourage thoughtful decision-making. Incorporating even a few of these principles can lead to a more mindful, balanced lifestyle. Thank you for joining us today. These 10 minimalist rules are proof that you don't have to be a full-fledged minimalist to benefit from a more intentional and simplified way of living. Whether it's managing your space, curbing impulse spending, or just slowing down to appreciate what you have, these tips can make a big difference. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration to simplify their life. Drop a comment below and let us know which rule resonates with you the most, or if you have your own minimalist-inspired habits to share. And of course, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more practical and intentional living tips. Before you go, click on the video on the screen now to explore even more ideas to help you simplify, save, and live more mindfully. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.